Did I say that properly?
Yes, you did.
Cool.
Welcome. Sorry. Did I just say welcome? Sorry, do that again.
Today's episode is brought to you by Movo. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the PropWay Initiative, a brand new podcast series that I'm starting right here on this channel, where we'll be talking about prop making, superhero movies, pop culture, and everything in between. You might be wondering if I'm going to still be making tutorials. 100% yes. This is not replacing anything. This is just an additional form of content onto PropWay. I'm super excited to get started with it. I think it's going to be a really good way for me to kind of be more unfiltered with you guys, more natural, not so edited. And it'll be a great chance for you guys to ask questions and give your feedback. And yeah, I'm super excited. And the part that I'm most excited about in starting this podcast is getting to interview a ton of cool guests in the prop making community, in the cosplay community, in the film industry. And today's guest is one that I'm super excited about. If you guys have been following PropWay for a while, you may have run into him in your recommended videos. You may have seen him before you even found PropWay. He's a good friend of mine. He is one of the most talented prop makers that I know. And he was the first person I thought of when I was starting this podcast that I wanted to interview. That person is my good friend, Shawn from Shawn's Crafts. So without further ado, let's get on with the conversation. Shawn, how's everything going?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for taking the time to be on here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Of course, this is a very new format for me, and it might be a new format for you, I'm assuming, as well. Yeah. So you are
Absolutely.
the very first guest I have on this show. So thank you so much. Oh. I think you're the perfect guest to have on here because we have so much like crossover with the stuff that we do. You have a huge following. You're at over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, which in my personal opinion is like the gold standard. 1 million subscribers like cements you in like YouTube stardom.
Thank you.
What's funny is that you and I have never met in person. We've only been friends online.
Yeah. No, I remember like I think I stumbled not to brag or anything, but I was there since the beginning of your channel. No, I'm playing, but I think you had you had posted like 2 or 3 videos and I came across you. I was like, this guy's the GOAT.
I would never have thought to like message you and ask, hey, my name's Greg, or just how's it going? I used to see it as like, okay, this guy is like at the top of YouTube right now. He's so unobtainable. But it's just so cool to kind of see like, and after getting to know you over all these years, you're a super humble guy, and I kind of want to get into that more later. But
thank you. Appreciate it.
Do you remember what our first interaction was?
Do I remember? Let me think back. Hold on. Was it the shield? No. It was, I don't know. I think I DM'd you or something.
It was the shield. As far as I remember, it was the shield.
Oh, okay.
I think so. From what I remember, and you tell me if this sounds familiar. You made a Captain America shield, and you like mentioned me in your video. Like, if you want to know how to make it out of foam instead of cardboard, follow PropWay. And I was like, whoa, he said my name. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yes, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's how it all started, for those that are wondering. And then ever since then, we've just been kind of chatting, like through Instagram messages. We've FaceTimed each other once or twice. But so what have you been up to recently? Any like big projects you can talk about, or just what's been taking up your time recently?
I am working on. I have it with me. Where is it? I don't know where it is right now. But
and of course, if you don't want to spoil anything, you do not have to say anything.
Oh no, I'm happy to share.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. Actually, let me grab it. Give me a second.
This is an inside look.
I'm working. Yeah, getting the inside scoop here. I'm working on a a dual action hidden blade.
Oh my gosh.
From Assassin's Creed.
Yes.
I've actually been off for a while because I'm busy doing other stuff. We can get into that later. But
cool.
I haven't been on the video grind for a while, but I'm gonna get back into it in the fall.
That's amazing. Yeah. You first of all, you're a master at your craft. You do amazing work. My big complaint is that you don't post enough. I want to see more of your videos, but you post so little, like especially as of recent. Is there like a reason behind that, or is that just kind of, things get in the way?
No, I always get asked that. That's a valid question. I don't know. There's a couple factors to it. you know, in some cases, it really does like sometimes take the amount of time that it could take, you know, 4 months for me to make a video if what I'm making is very ambitious. I think a good example of that is like the Iron Spider helmet.
Yeah.
Which by the way, I made that because of you.
Oh, did you really?
Know.
Nice.
Well, yeah. Remember I used the your.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the moving lens mechanism. I remember that.
Yeah. So that is a good example of something I would say was like a very challenging, time-consuming build. But other times, other times I would say it just comes down to like me not putting in as many hours. Like I work very, you know, untraditional hours, which I have. I have a mixed feelings about that because on one hand I feel very blessed to have a flexible schedule and I can spend my time, like I can spread it doing other things that I enjoy in life, but at the same time a lot of that time is spent feeling like guilty. You already know because we talk a lot about that. I think it's always been a challenge, and I'm still like learning how to find like balance, quote unquote.
Yeah.
I think what that would look like ideally is just probably putting more hours, like working a little bit harder, and then that way when I do take time off or I'm doing other things, I don't feel as bad about it. But it's a mixture of things. I know I kind of just like went all over the place, but it's
all good. No, yeah.
If it was up to me, I'm in the same boat as you, brother. Like I want to post more too.
Yeah.
But now that I'm getting into like 3D printing and stuff, I think that could help a lot, which we could probably talk more about later. But
I mean, that 3D printing, that's a huge world that you just opened up with your latest video. Was I just literally just watched it. It was a Spider-Man, the new moving lenses, and you it was a Shawn's Crafts first because you'd never done 3D printing up to that point, as far as I remember. And I know I had an issue when I first posted my first 3D printing video, because I used to always do foam props, and I feel like you might be known as like, you know, cardboard props and like paper and super glue, and which is why so many people love you, because all your props are so accessible. One issue I had was so many people being like, "Oh, well, now I can't watch you because you do 3D printing, and I don't have a 3D printer." I don't know if you were running into that, or if any of those comments affect you at all.
I got a fair bit of comments like that, you know, but I mean, you know, you can't, of course you can't please everyone, but at the same time I don't intend on you know, completely pivoting the channel anytime soon, where it's like just 3D printing. I think if you sprinkle it in a little bit here and there, I think it could be nice. But like I said, I can't make everyone happy, but I would be lying if I said like it doesn't excite me. I'm actually like super excited about 3D printing. I feel like it opens up so many possibilities. But yeah, I definitely want to keep, you know, making videos about cardboard and things like that, but it'll just the 3D printer will just be like another tool for me to use in my arsenal.
No, for sure. And that's like what I think myself and so many people love about your channel, is that you do so many different types of making. You do like the basic cardboard stuff, super glue, and then you also have some sewing stuff. You have like sculpting, and it's just crazy how many different skills and talents you have, which is something I really admire. You also posted a Thing mask recently. Did you watch Fantastic Four this summer?
I did, yes.
What did you think about it?
I liked it. I mean, it was pretty good. I'm not that hard to please, to be honest. I'm pretty I'm pretty casual moviegoer, but I would say, I guess because everyone's making this comparison, I think I would say Superman. I enjoyed Superman a little more.
Oh, okay.
Because everyone's making that comparison right now. But like, because for me, like, I liked it. It was like a lot of fun, I would say. Like, if I were to use one word to describe it, I would say it was fun. But I felt like, and sorry, I should preface by saying I'm not like a purist. Like, I don't really know that much about the comics. I'm just going based on like my own opinion.
Me too.
I felt like I didn't really get to, like, the characters kind of felt like strangers a little bit. Like, I feel like they could have done a better job of making you feel, you know, more connected to the characters. I know they kind of did that with, like, you know, spoiler alert, but I know they kind of did that with like Franklin and stuff. But but what'd you think? I'm curious to know what you thought.
That's interesting. I'm actually in the opposite boat where I thought Fantastic Four was better than Superman. I was gonna ask you about if you saw Superman 2.
Yes.
I really enjoyed Fantastic Four. I think, like, the first thing I thought when I walked out the movie was that I think this is gonna be a really rewatchable movie in the sense that, like, when it comes out on streaming in a few months, I can just, like, you know, if I'm cooking dinner or working on something, I can just put it on in the background, and it's just like one of those comfort movies. I don't know if I got that because of, like, it's kind of that family oriented, and it's really easy to watch. You don't have to really know anything about the multiverse yet. It's kind of just its own, like, single story, which I really liked. Now that I think about it, I agree that some of the characters did feel like strangers, like, and I think that's the struggle with introducing new characters.
Yeah,
it's like you have to get used to these actors. But I did enjoy Superman, so going to Superman, I enjoyed it. There was something about it that I felt, I don't know, I just couldn't put it at, like, the top tier of superhero movies for me. I don't know if it's because, like, I have an expectation of Superman, or maybe felt a little, like, I don't know, more of like a kid's movie. I don't want to say that in a bad way. Like, it was definitely a very fun movie and I enjoyed it, but I think I was just expecting a bit more of, like, a I really don't know if it's a serious Superman or darker, but yeah.
No, I totally get what you're saying. Like, it's kind of like he kind of comes off a little wimpy, but, like, it's supposed to be... I
think that might be it.
It's supposed to be like he's human, but then... Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But...
And I totally get, you know, that's the appeal to Superman, is that he's human, even though he's so powerful. So that's interesting. So you made the Thing mask a few months before that Fantastic Four movie came out, which I think coming from you is a little strange, because I know you like to make props at least afterwards, or maybe while it's, like, trending. So this kind of goes into my next question on, like, how do you determine what props you're going to make next?
That's a great question. I don't know. Some people ask me if I have it, like, planned out, like, a timeline or anything. Like, honestly, I just go video by video on a video by video basis. For me, it's like whenever I'm done a video, I just take a little while to think about what I want to make, and then for me, like, whenever something, like, kind of excites me, like, oh, I think that would make, you know, for a cool video, then it has to be, you know, it can't just be that, though. It has to be something that I think people would want to see. Yeah. So for example, with the Thing, I thought maybe, I don't know what I was thinking. I thought it was kind of I think everyone was really excited about the trailers, and I saw how, like, it was being well received, so that was kind of like where I was going with that. What's
the hardest part then of the like the entire video making process outside of actual building the prop? Like, what part of the production do you find to be the most difficult?
That's a good question. I got to think about that. Probably it would be, because I think when you film yourself building something, it's a lot different than, like, building it without filming it without a camera there, because when you're filming when you're building with a camera, you gotta show it in an order, in a way that people will actually, like, comprehend. Whereas if you're just building something without a camera, you can just go whatever order you want and just do a little bit here, a little bit there, and then, oh, I'm gonna wait for this to dry, so I'll just start this thing here. Yeah. You can do a little bit of that, obviously, with the camera, because you can edit. You know, you can fix it with editing, but I would say that might be the most challenging part, because I kind of I like to take my time, or not. How do I word this? I like to put a lot of thought into how I'm going to show, or, like, how I want people to understand, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like, yeah.
No, yeah. I am the exact same way, where it's almost like it feels like so much extra work having to, you know, do a part of a prop, and then, okay, I got to set up a camera angle now to do this angle, when all I need to do is just cut something, but now I got to set up an angle and, like, get the right lighting. So that's a good answer, because I think that might be the most difficult part for me as well.
Yeah, like, the last thing I want is for people to, like, watch and then kind of get confused or lost. Like, that's kind of like something I've tried really hard to avoid, and it takes, I would say that it takes a lot of, like, brain power sometimes to to think about like, okay, how do I want to like communicate this, but also not make it like too lengthy where you would just get bored watching it, if that makes sense. So,
yeah, that 100%. Do you have a background at all in like, I don't know, video editing or some kind of production? Are you all self-taught, or I don't know if you studied any of this in school or had a job like this, or?
Well, YouTube. Like I just learned everything on YouTube. I wish I was like, I'm jealous of people that I envy people who are, you know, gifted like that and can do crazy stuff with editing. But no, I use like Final Cut. Actually, for the longest time I used iMovie. I just switched to Final Cut like maybe a year ago ish, maybe even less than a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah, but everything I do is just pretty basic stuff. I don't really I think everything I do is pretty basic. So I guess you could say I'm self-taught, but it's not that impressive because I'm not. Yeah.
Honestly, the basic stuff is what it looks good in my opinion. Like the way you light, even like the way your lighting is in certain shots. It's like, do you color grade any of your videos, or is it just like your camera quality? Because even your camera quality looks great.
I do not color grade. No, okay. So now I'm using a Sony well, for anyone that wants to like get into the nitty gritty, but I use a Sony camera now. So, and I just put it in Cinetone, I think it's called, which is kind of like a nice picture profile. A lot of people say it looks pretty good, so I just leave it on there. And then I just, for me, I don't want to put in any unnecessary work that's gonna slow me down. I mean, I know if you color grade, it will give you like that extra oomph, but for me, it's like, since I do everything myself, it's kind of like, is it worth it? So
you said you don't want to get into the nitty gritty, but feel free to get into the nitty gritty. Like that's what we're here for. So you use a Sony camera. For your voiceovers, what do you use?
It's changed a lot. I had for like a lot of my videos, maybe 2 years ago, and before that, I used a cheap like USB mic called a Mayono from Amazon. I think it's like $100 mic.
Nice.
And then I eventually switched to a Blue Yeti. Because the reason I switched to the Blue Yeti, not because it was a better mic, but because I just liked the way it looked.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I like used to think it was like, oh, that's like the sickest looking mic ever.
Yeah,
so I eventually got it for myself, even though I knew it wasn't better than the one I was already using. But actually, turns out I hated that mic. Like I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if I don't know. It's probably user error to an extent, but like I hated that mic so much. I think I only used it for like 1 or 2 videos.
What did you hate about it? What did you hate about it?
It was like hard to get it to not like have plosives all the time. And it also just, I don't know, it also just sounded like kind of tinny, and I don't know, I just didn't like it. But yeah, and then after that I switched to this one that you're listening to now. I switched to this, but then funny enough, I also kind of had an issue with this. Not an issue as in like personal preference. Like I felt like it was kind of like, and all these are probably fixable if you know how to do it. But for me, I'm kind of like a noob, so I just, but this one, it kind of, it's good, but I feel like it's kind of more for like what we're doing now, where like we're calling, and it's like, it's kind of like flat, like it doesn't capture the highs and lows of your voice.
Gotcha.
Like if I want to be more expressive and be like, hey, like kind of, you know, it kind of just makes my voice flat. So now I'm using the, it's called the Hollyland Lark M2. I actually didn't buy that mic for YouTube. I actually bought that for my own personal use for like church and stuff. But then I started using it. I was like, oh, this mic's actually pretty good. I kind of like the way it sounds. It kind of captures a lot of detail, and it's versatile too, because you can clip it here. This sounds like I'm like doing an ad. Sounds like I'm doing an ad right now, but no, it's there's you can clip it to your shirt, but you can also like kind of talk into it for a more rich like voiceover sound. So I just use that right now, but who knows what I'll be using in the future, but that's what I'm using now.
Interesting. Is there any other specific like lighting that you use, or just, I don't know if there's like camera stands, or is it really just kind of all random off the shelf stuff?
No, I think the only thing I spent a lot of money on probably was the camera. Everything else is just like Amazon stuff. Like you just literally search up lighting box on
Tripod.
Amazon, probably the
Yeah.
first one there. It's like,
Gotcha.
I think it's like Mount Dog. Oh yeah, Mount Dog. If you go on like Amazon, you just search up like Mount Dog
Okay.
light.
Cool.
And then yeah, but actually, because you mentioned the Sony camera, I should say that I was using Canon for like a long time. Like I only switched to Sony like maybe a year ago. Ever since the Wolverine video. So, but
Okay.
yeah, but actually the Deadpool video, but I wasn't using it then. But anyways,
Gotcha.
I switched to Sony only a year ago. I was using Canon. I was using I talk about this a lot with actually a lot of my friends who are trying to get into like just not necessarily YouTube, but just like filmmaking and photography in general. I try to encourage them because a lot of them are younger and they can't afford gear, and I usually tell them like I'm pretty sure I built the channel grew to 1 million with me just using the kit lens of a camera, like it's called the Canon M50, and then there's like you buy it with the kit lens, and it's like a cheap lens, and I used that for like the longest time until I got this Sony camera that you're looking at now.
So I'm going to go back a little bit. You mentioned about kind of your work schedule. I want to clarify. Are you doing YouTube full time?
Yes,
full time.
so
like
it's my full time job, but
Yeah,
I will
okay.
admit sometimes I don't treat it. Sometimes I don't treat it like a full time job.
no, that's totally cool. That's
But-
very like I'm super happy to hear that, and I'm very proud of you to hear that because that's like the ultimate goal for so many people. I'm curious as to what like if you have any specific like processes when you're making videos that like sort of like maybe templates that you follow to get videos consistent, or is each video like really its own separate project? Like do you just start from scratch every single time?
That's a really good question, actually. Well, for these days, I feel like I've kind of been following a certain format where I would use Blender and Pepakura Designer to make the template.
Okay.
I don't know. Well,
Yeah.
if you watched it, you're probably familiar
Yes.
with
Yep.
it. But it's like, so that's how I've been doing it these days. That's kind of like the phase I'm in. But I don't imagine I'll be doing that. I don't know. I don't. It's I don't know like what phase what the next phase looks like. But at least for right now, I've been doing a lot of that, where you basically take a 3D model and then you, I think it's called like retopology.
Okay.
You basically, you make it like a low poly thingy.
Yeah.
And then you like unfold it in
Yep.
Pepakura Designer.
Yep.
So I've been doing that.
Awesome.
But actually, I should shout out a guy. There's a guy named RJR Productions. He kind of does a lot of like his content's kind of similar. He does a lot of like cardboard stuff, but he makes it like I think he does everything like by hand. Like so, I'm like jealous. I'm so like I wish I could do that. Like
I'm very
and his stuff actually, yeah.
No, I'm familiar with
Sorry,
RJ.
you go ahead.
I'm very familiar with him. I follow him on Instagram. I watch his YouTube videos, so I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, he's super talented. Like his helmets look like they were made from like a Pepakura template, even though he just did it by hand, which is actually crazy. So
Yeah. Like your success on YouTube, having 1 million subscribers, is that something that you aimed to reach when you first started out? Or did you start out making because, I'm just bored, want to make a video, let's see where it goes? Or was it like, I want to be a YouTube star?
Well, there's so many ways to answer this because we could go all the way back, or we could go. I don't know.
No, go back. I know what you mean. Go back as far as you want.
How
Go
far
back as
do you
far
want
as
me
you
to
want.
go? Okay, once upon I'm kidding, but
That's all right.
well, the channel started in 2012, I think. There's a lot of videos that are unlisted right now, or I mean not unlisted, like private.
Yeah.
So they're not visible anymore. But actually, the channel goes all the way back to 2012. The reason I started the channel was originally because, well, okay, first of all, I've always been a crafter, since like I was a little kid. I've had so many different phases. But the channel was, I started the channel because there was at the time when I was like a wee little boy, there was a contest, like a crafting contest, so you could like submit what you made.
Yeah.
And so I started the channel specifically for that.
Okay.
It was like a duct tape crafting contest. I'd be surprised if anyone knows this, but there's a guy named duct tape stuff. I'm pretty sure that was it. So shout out to that guy because he, yeah. But
That's your inspiration.
But after that, yeah. After if we want to talk about inspiration, we can go. Oh man, you just
let's go further back.
No, but anyway, so I'll finish what I'm saying first.
Okay.
So yeah, I entered a contest, and then after that, I kind of like, oh, this is pretty cool. So I entered more contests, and I just kept doing that. Eventually, it kind of turned into like a place to just post stuff I made. Like I had so many different phases of crafting. It was like I had like an origami phase. I would make like guns out of paper and cardboard. And then eventually it turned into like Lego, but a lot of this stuff was never shown on YouTube. This is just all the different phases I've had. But yeah, I had a Lego phase, and then I think the way I got into cardboard was actually because of Lego. So I got really into Lego, but I didn't have that much of it, and there's a lot of things I wanted to make.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, well, I'll just try to make it out of cardboard instead, because I don't have enough pieces to make what I want. And then that's kind of how I got into cardboard crafting, and then I kind of evolved into like making arcade games, and then yeah, it just kind of evolved from there. But the other thing we were going to talk, sorry, I should mention the OG inspiration, I should say. There's a guy named Epic Fantasy on YouTube. I think he's still active today.
Okay.
But
I'm not familiar.
Epic Fantasy. He's like the OG. Like he had a channel where he made like a lot of cardboard, like just props, like foam board and cardboard. Like it was just like kind of what I do now, actually.
Yeah.
Just less like, yeah, and then he, like, I remember watching him as a kid and like making so many of the things that he would make. Like I would just follow his tutorials.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so grateful that I had that period of my life, because I feel like now that I'm the one doing the teaching, I kind of know what, how do I say this? Like I kind of know what's on the other end, if that makes sense. A lot, like, cause I mean, of course, a lot of younger kids watch us, me and you,
yeah,
I'm sure. And yeah, I'm just like I said, I'm kind of grateful that I lived that, like that part, like I lived through that. So now I know, like, oh, now I know what other people are experiencing when they watch me, if that makes sense.
You know, that makes total sense. And I think you can definitely really see that in like the detail of your videos and how easy it is to follow certain things. That's something that I struggle with my videos. There are certain things that I think should already be known, like maybe certain ways to cut something. So in the past I've glossed over it, and you know, then I get questions like, oh, like how did you do this cut? But I think with your videos, it's so in depth and so in detail that, like you said, you've learned how to make videos because you were once a viewer. I think all of us were the same way. So that's super cool to hear that. And I'm sure like the next big YouTube star is someone that watches your videos right now and is gonna evolve that. So
maybe, who knows? Yeah, no, so, that's a good way to put it. Actually, that's a good way to put it. You said you know how to make videos because you were a viewer or something? Yeah. Like that's actually a really good way to put it. Yeah, and we of course still are viewers, but like we understand what it's like being a kid and trying to learn from a video. I remember you, like, I haven't seen it recently, but you made like these cardboard Nike shoes, didn't you? And you like wore them. I mean, do you like plan to get into more of those kind of builds? Because you've had a streak of obviously mostly superhero stuff. Do you plan to get into any of that more like kind of not superhero, more, I don't know, pop culture type builds that are like shoes or arcade games or anything like that? I don't know. I think the core people who watch the channel are very, I would think that a lot of them are tied to certain fandoms, and I don't think a lot of them are watching. Like the vast majority of people that watch are not really invested in me as a person. I think a lot of it is just me kind of banking off of franchises. So it's hard to say, but I think, I don't know. I think the channel will probably always have some kind of like pop culture tied to it. Mm-hmm. Whether it's like going to be Marvel forever, I don't know about that, but probably it'll probably always have some kind of fandom attached to it.
Yeah.
I realized I didn't answer your question. I was like yapping. You asked me, did you always? What was it? It was like, did you always imagine that your channel would?
Yeah. It was in the back of my head. I was gonna bring it up again, but yeah, basically,
Yeah, sorry.
Did you when you started the channel, were you planning to reach the level that you're at right now?
Okay, so yeah, I got a lot. Now I got to go back on my train of thought. So, so in the beginning, it started as a hobby, like I was saying, and then around COVID time is I would say when I started to take it more seriously, like when I thought of it as a potential like career. There's so many different ways there's so many different things I could talk about here, but basically I just graduated high school. I went to like university for a bit, and then I literally left after I think I left after like 2 months or something like that, like not even a semester basically.
Wow, I didn't know that.
It's actually it's crazy because like looking back it kind of makes for like a cool story. It's like, oh my gosh, look at you like you know, you knew all along, but like in the moment it was like it was kind of hard. Like I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and it's also like really it's hard because it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of embarrassing, you know. It's like kind of like to not know what to do with, like, yeah, it's just there's a lot of like expectation, and then it's just like you're not sure what you want to do, and then this career path is like very like not a traditional path. So like it was kind of like, when I say embarrassing, I guess what I'm trying to say is like if you try to explain to someone that this is what you're trying to pursue and you're not there yet, then it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of, yeah. But I think, you know, looking back, I believe I got, and some people might disagree, but I genuinely believe I got kind of lucky. Like I think like during COVID, there was so much activity on YouTube. It was like at an all-time high. So I think it was really a matter of like, right, like just perfect timing. I don't attribute everything to like, oh, I'm just skilled or whatever. A lot of it was just really, really good timing, like really convenient timing. And also Marvel was doing really well, and it was, you know, those kinds of things. So it was like a perfect storm, I guess you could say. But yeah, so to backtrack a little bit, after I left school, I basically gave myself like a year or two. I remember giving myself like a year or two to try to actively try and pursue this as a career. And then, well, it's not that, actually, it's kind of not that simple, because I was actually planning on doing YouTube and school at the same time.
Okay.
But this is kind of what I mean by like a convenient storm, because like it kind of all worked out because in the year 2020 COVID, I was going to enroll 2020. Oh no, sorry, was it? Yeah, 2020. I think 2020 I was going to enroll into another school, like a different school, after I had left the last one. But once I found out about like lockdown and everything, I was like, oh, I don't want to like do this online, you know. So then I decided not to go, and then that gave me even more time to pursue YouTube, and also it gave me like, you know, it kind of gave me a good excuse too, you know, like like I'm staying home. So
for sure.
Yeah, and then so that's kind of what I mean when I say like it all kind of like, you know, kind of a lot of it was like luck, I think. But you know, I feel very blessed. Like, you know, praise the Lord and everything. Like I feel very blessed to be where I am now. So
no, and that's I love what you said about like how it was really just a balance of perfect timing, and you know, you're not attributing it all to skill. I personally attribute it to your skill, because I think you're just that good. And I think if you posted your videos at any time, whether COVID, pre-COVID, post-COVID, you would have gotten like maybe as big as you are now. Can I just ask a quick question? What were you planning to study in college?
I was planning on doing some kind of industrial design, if you know what that is.
Yeah. Okay.
It's funny because the other day I saw a reel on Instagram that was like kind of it was like, how do I say it? It was like showing duct tape, like someone's duct tape phase back in like 2013, and then one of the most liked comments was like, the duct tape to industrial design pipeline is real or something like that. And they got like so many likes. I was like, wow, that's crazy. We're all living the same. Like, but yeah, I was gonna do industrial design actually, but the school I went to part of the reason I hated it, well, I hate is kind of a strong word, but part of the reason I didn't want to stay is because the first year that you enroll there, they don't allow you to like major in anything. It's just like you have to.
Okay.
By the way, it's an art and design school.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's an art and design school, but like
So everyone's taking the
for
same
some reason they
classes to start. Basically.
kind of. It's you have. It's called like foundation year.
Okay.
So you take a lot of different art and design courses, and
Gotcha.
like they're basically the idea is that they want you to be like well-rounded or something.
Okay.
But I don't know. Personally, I feel like it would. But I mean, I say that I knew what I was getting myself into. Obviously, well, in one sense, I knew what I was getting myself into, but in another sense, I didn't. But obviously, I'm not like blaming any institution or anything. I'm just saying
Oh, yeah,
like
of course.
it is my own fault. But on that note, like I should say, like I actually don't regret going to a school that I didn't like, because that kind of showed me like what I wanted to do. You know, because YouTube was like a part of my life like way before that,
Yeah.
and I had never really thought that it was even something I should pursue. But because I didn't enjoy my time at university, like that kind of like got me thinking like what should I do? You know, like what do I like to do? And then that is part of the reason why I even did YouTube, was because I realized that the alternative was probably not something that I would like as much. So
Yeah. I mean, that's amazing that you found your passion in YouTube. I mean, a lot of people fall into that, I don't want to say trap, but kind of that mindset of, you know, they think college is the only way to be successful. But I mean, there's so many ways. I also want to go back to something you said about kind of the embarrassment. Yeah, because I think there's a lot there. I kind of fall into that. I have experienced some of that as well. Like, I think when people hear, like, I'm a content creator, I'm a YouTuber, they automatically kind of look down on it, and they're like, oh, you're just you're just trying to post these like random videos that don't have any value just to, you know, go viral. But I mean, there's so much to content creation and like just this whole social media world that, you know, people are making careers out of it, you being a perfect example. Is that something that you like still struggle with today, or is that, are you at a level where, you know, you've reached, you know, 1 million subscribers on YouTube, so now you kind of feel more proud to say that I'm a content creator? Or is it still, maybe you're still kind of, you know, hesitant to really dive deep into that when people talk about like what, you know, what you do for a living?
Yeah. No, well, I would say it's kind of still embarrassing, but now for like a different reason. Like it's like a different kind of embarrassment now. Like before it was like, you know, because I kind of like what you were saying, like it's, yeah. But like now it's, I'm terrible at talking about myself, honestly. Like when I meet new people and they try to like ask me like what I do and stuff, like I'm so bad at like telling people what I do. Like I don't know, I just don't know how to like talk about myself. But that's what when you were saying like, oh, do you get embarrassed? Like I kind of do, because like I don't really know how to, like honestly, like I'm a normal dude, like I'm a normal guy, and like having to explain to someone that you have 1 million subscribers is kind of like weird, you know? Like,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
how do you like?
Well, I don't know
casually
what you mean,
say that. Well, yeah, but it's, yeah. I so to answer your question, like I have a hard time talking about myself. So the embarrassment is still there, but for a different reason. Because like I said, like I feel like a normal guy. Like I'm not like some, like the word influencer feels like kind of like weird to describe me. But yeah,
I know what you mean, because I think there still is kind of that, like maybe mystery behind content creation. Like it's kind of this new and upcoming industry that I feel has come up maybe in the past, I don't know, 5 to 10 years, where it's really starting to explode and it's becoming like a new avenue for actual work. I do have another question here. I want to know why you don't expand to other platforms, for example, like Instagram and TikTok, because you have 1 million on YouTube, and that's obviously your bread and butter. People know you as a YouTuber. I personally think if you just, you know, do the same content on Instagram and TikTok, you'll grow such a big audience there, and maybe it's a missed opportunity to gain new fans, or maybe you don't care about that at all. Or can you go into that, or why you don't post as much on there?
No, I honestly that is a good question. I don't know. Like it's, well, first of all, I should say I do, since I do everything myself. Like it's hard sometimes to decide the level of importance each thing has on my to-do list, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I already feel like I'm behind on like I kind of touched on earlier, I already feel like I'm kind of behind on, you know, making YouTube videos. So to add something else on top of that would kind of you know, make the workload even more. But not that I'm, yeah, anyways, I sound like I'm complaining, but
not that.
but yeah, but I totally agree with what you're saying though. Like I agree with the sentiment that if I feel like I could, you know, unlock a whole new audience on other platforms as well. But you know, I probably, you know, I probably should. Like I don't know what I'm waiting for. I probably should actually, because I mean I've seen you. I'm kind of, you know, I'm kind of jealous of you. No, I'm kidding. But you yeah, you grew a lot on Instagram. Like you know, you've your growth on Instagram is like really. I'm proud of you, honestly. Like
Thank you.
yeah, but I don't know. I should post more. If I were to choose another platform, it would probably be Instagram. I don't know how well my stuff would do on TikTok. But another thing too, like there's also other factors to it. Like I feel like if you shoot I shoot vertically, right? So then I would probably have to start like keeping vertical. Did I say? Sorry, I shoot horizontal.
Yeah.
Did I say vertical?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I shoot horizontal. So if I start making vertical content, I would have to kind of multitask a little bit, and kind of like keep that in mind.
Yeah.
When I'm like framing my shot. But I don't know. Those are kind of excuses as well, because like I definitely could. You're right. I definitely could post on other platforms.
I'm a primary. I think I use Instagram more than I do any other app. So I would just love to see you more on there.
To be honest with you, I consider myself like not a very smart in terms of, I'm not very smart in terms of like I don't really make the smartest like decisions for the business side of my channel. Like I kind of consider myself like an artist first.
Okay.
So for me, like I personally get the most satisfaction out of making like a whole complete YouTube video, like a 15-minute long or 20-minute long YouTube video. That's what like creatively satisfies me the most. Not to say that like, you know, short form wouldn't do it for me, but it doesn't excite me as much, if that makes sense. Like if I were to do it, it would probably be kind of a little bit of a chore and just something that I would do for maybe to grow in followers and in income and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it wouldn't really be something, I don't know, but maybe I say that now, but you know, maybe something will change in the future. I don't know.
I mean, no, I totally get what you mean, because that's very much a balance that I still try to find with like, am I a maker? Am I a influencer? Am I a content creator? Where there are phases where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to post like these, you know, quick, flashy, like 15-second videos and see like if it goes viral or not. And then there are other phases where I'm in the same boat as you, where you want to make like a full production and you get your satisfaction from that. You say like you're not smart with your decisions, and you say that with 1 million subscribers. So, I mean, come on. Okay, so I think we've really beaten to death like the process of your YouTube making process and kind of your video making process. I want to just get into more maybe personal, and not like deep personal, but like, for example, what are some stuff that you do outside of YouTube, like for fun?
Well, I should say I'm a simple dude. I have like, you know, like 3 different things I do, and that's like pretty much it. I live a pretty simple life. But I should say I like drumming. I'm a drummer, believe it or not. I've never shared that before, but I guess now
I did not know that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. It's kind of semi-recent. It hasn't been like something I've been doing for my whole life. I just got into it maybe like 2-ish years ago.
Okay.
But I love it. It's so fun. So I spend time doing that. I'm also I play ice hockey.
No way.
That I've been doing that. Yeah, no, that I can say I've been doing for like almost my whole life. It's very Canadian of me, actually. Like, I don't know. It's. Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't know
But,
if many of your viewers know if you've mentioned it, but you are based in Canada, correct? Toronto.
Yes.
So is
Vancouver.
Vancouver. Yes. Sorry. And as soon as you said ice hockey, I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I've been playing since like I think I was like 11 or 10,
Okay.
something like that. Well, I played like I was like I played a lot of road hockey as a kid, so that's kind of how I got into it, and then that's how I keep myself active. And aside from that, I don't really. I mean, I spend a lot of time at church. That's like a huge part of my life. Like if I'm not here doing YouTube, I'm most likely working on something for church, and it's really fulfilling for me. Like volunteering and doing all kinds of things like
Yeah.
that. It's a big part of my life. Like right now we're preparing for like a big summer camp, so a lot of my time, like I was kind of touching on it earlier, but the Hidden Blade, like I haven't been working on that for like a solid couple of weeks because we've just been like planning this camp for a long time. So like I don't know if I want to get into it, but we're doing like a murder mystery, so it takes I'm like going all in on I'm like doing all those puzzles and stuff.
That's
But
so cool.
yeah, church is like a huge part of my life. Yeah, aside from that, I watch a lot of YouTube like everyone else. I should say recently I got into Breaking Bad. Like I hadn't watched it until now.
I've never seen
I like
it.
binged like, oh my gosh, Greg, you need to watch it. Like I think like I can say this. I can go on the record and say this. I think it's the best show I've ever watched.
Really?
I don't know. Like
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah,
I don't.
like,
So many people have said that too. So I believe it.
yeah, no, it's funny because when I watched it, I didn't know how famous. Like I knew it was famous, but I didn't know like how much notoriety it had. So when I watched it, I thought I was like special. I was like, oh my gosh, I just discovered like this amazing show that like no one knows about. And then I realized later on, I realized, oh, like this is like old news. Like everyone already knows
Yeah.
how good this is. The one thing I will say is like a lot of people complain it's kind of slow, which I can totally see what they mean. It is a little slow, so if you're not into that kind of thing, then you might not really fancy it as much. But I was like, yeah, I love that show. Like now I'm like a diehard fan now.
That's so funny. Yeah. My wife she loves watching series, and she like, and I don't. Like I will watch a series every now and then, but she'll always complain like, oh, I can't sit through like more than a couple episodes. And she's mentioned Breaking Bad is like, it's one of the best. Do you watch any other series? Like, are you a big series watcher in general, or is it like just that Breaking Bad?
I watched Invincible kind of recently.
Okay.
But am I a big series watcher? I don't know. You would think someone who runs a channel like mine is super like into pop culture and is super immersed in like even video games. Like I don't play video games, which is like or anything like that. So, but I would say like I'm kind of like a casual in every sense when it comes to this kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like if something is big enough and it gets like on my radar, I'll probably watch it. Like Invincible, I enjoyed Invincible as well.
Cool.
So, but I don't always have series that are like I'm not someone that always has something that I'm watching. It's usually only when I feel like, oh, this looks interesting, I'll watch it. But
nice.
But
I think it's awesome that you play ice hockey. I don't know if you know, but I'm a big sports guy.
Yeah, no, I see on your Instagram all the time. You're like the volleyball.
Yeah, I try to throw in a little bit of like just my personal like sports life, but I've been playing sports since I was a kid. We have volleyball, tennis, basketball. So I've played roller hockey before, and me and my brother were into that. Because do you watch like NHL?
Yeah, of course. I'm a big Canucks fan. You know,
boo, Blackhawks. But when the Blackhawks were winning Stanley Cups, like me and my brother were super into it for I don't know, maybe a couple summers. You should really come to Chicago one of these days.
I should. Yeah, I was telling you. Remember I told you I went to Taiwan this summer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I actually, what I didn't tell you was that I usually like I'm not a big traveler usually, and because when I was a kid I would get like really sick, like air sick,
okay.
but actually, as of recently, like I found a medicine that actually does like help, because I tried everything before. Like I tried like gravel, like all the stuff off the shelf, like gravel and all that
When you
stuff.
say air sick, like motion sickness or just like the thin air?
Yeah,
what
like,
makes, okay.
Oh no, like motion sickness.
Gotcha,
Yeah, so
okay.
I've never been a big traveler because I've always
Yeah.
gotten like super sick. But now
okay.
that I actually found something that worked, I feel like now I could travel like so much easier. And actually, I had so much fun in Taiwan actually, because it was the first time I traveled with friends. So, and there were a couple of them are from there, so they know.
Yeah. That's
so it
awesome.
was-
Yeah, no, Taiwan. That's a really fun trip.
but I mean, yeah, I think we'll probably meet someday. I don't know when, but
Yeah, we
like,
have to.
I always say this for everyone else watching. I always say this, but I'm like, I always tell Greg like, if only I could, like get invited to like a premiere like you. Like if only I was as cool as you, because then I would see you.
That is true.
Yeah, but have you been to Vancouver here or no?
No, I've been to
Never been?
Toronto. That's why I thought you were
Oh,
from
okay.
Toronto, because it was in my head. Toronto's the only city I've been in, and like Niagara Falls in Canada.
Mm.
But Vancouver,
Yeah,
sounds like an amazing city. I would love to go there one day.
Yeah, I can't see myself like a lot of I don't know if this is maybe this happens everywhere, but a lot of people are like, oh, I want to like move here, like I don't like it here, and it's like people here are like cold or something, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I personally I don't know if it's because I don't know. I love it here. It's great here.
We could also meet up at like. Do you go to conventions at all?
Well, the thing is, I probably need to I probably need to make a full cosplay before I do that.
You don't. I mean, if you want to, of course, but I've gone to conventions before.
Actually, you're right.
super
No, you're
casual.
right. You're right. Actually, yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess my idea. Sorry, I should. Yeah, because a lot of people go without
Yeah.
having a cosplay. But I guess the reason I'm saying that is because like that's kind of like the idea of what I have in my head in terms of like what a convention is.
Yeah.
Like you dress up.
You know what's cool? If you go to a convention, maybe even like in your area, you might spot people that have used like your templates before, and that's like one of the coolest things. I think it might be so. Your props look like professional grade, like Hollywood level, so it might be harder to spot because you can't tell if they bought that or made it. Some of my templates, like they're good, but you can tell there's a bit more of a maker look to it. So I can spot if someone used my template before, and I've seen it at like the Chicago conventions, and it's just a super cool feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, no, your template, like you were saying, I know what you mean. Like I've seen people, even myself, I've seen people use your template.
Oh, nice.
You're kind of serving that. You're doing a really good job serving that kind of need in the prop making community. Like people will
Yeah.
just search up. They're not like a crazy like me. Like, oh, I'm gonna like sit here in my room and make this for like multiple months. Like
Exactly. Yeah.
But I should say on that line, on the same, on speaking of that, like I'm always like really like it actually makes me really happy when I see people use my template, because like the videos are not meant to be, at least I don't think so. They're not really something you can, if you want, like follow it step by step, but like my kind of goal is to show you like what's possible, and then you
Okay.
can do whatever you want with like the template. You can, because there's so many different ways. Like if I give you like a template of a mask, there's so many different ways you could go from there, like from that point
Sure.
on.
Yeah.
So it always excites me when I like you were saying, when people use my template, because they find different ways they find different solutions for like different things, and it might not
Yeah.
be like crazy polished, but like it's always cool.
Interesting. No, that's. It's funny that you say that, because I feel like you do strike a good balance of like the level of detail. If people could follow it if they want to, but also they could just like kind of just put on in the background and just get inspiration from your videos, just the way that they're filmed. So that's interesting to hear you say that, like, you're not really making it for a follow along. It's more of like a, here's how I did it, and run with it and go make your own stuff. That's cool.
Yeah, no, the vast majority of people obviously are just watching for entertainment. I think for both of us, that probably.
Interesting. I didn't think.
Well,
about that.
what do you think? You think?
For my stuff personally, I don't think they're watching it for entertainment. I think it's people like.
Really?
I think a big chunk of it is. Well, okay, I think we do have a section of our fan base is like they kind of know us, so they want to see anything that we make. But I think in general, like when people come across our videos, it's because they were looking for how to make something. Like, you know, they were looking, they wanted to make a Spider-Man cosplay, so they look up how to make Spider-Man, and now they watch a video, and then maybe they never watch it again. Maybe they subscribe and just wait for more tutorials. That's my videos personally, because I feel like for example, someone that doesn't care about, like, you know, superheroes might not watch my, like, I think I probably have some family that wouldn't watch my video because it's like they don't want to see someone cutting foam. Like, it's boring. So that's why I personally think people watch it for the tutorial aspect. Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I can speak for myself. I always saw it as the vast majority are just here to see someone make something from their favorite
creator.
No. Oh,
from their favorite
like
fandom.
From their favorite like movie or TV show.
I'm just such a big fan of you. I swear, I'm just that, like, as soon as you click a video, I'm like, all right, I'm watching this just because it's Shawn.
No, that's how I feel about you, bro. I'm always looking forward to what you make. But yeah, you're right. With you, you're right. Your templates are like super accessible though.
What is your favorite video you've ever made on your channel?
When you say favorite video, do you mean my favorite project?
I'll say
like build or favorite.
The actual build
favorite
itself.
build?
Yes. That's a good way to put it.
Right now, probably the Iron Spider helmet. That one, I feel like I kind of combined everything I knew into one build.
Yeah.
I think the final result was, like, usually with almost everything I make, there's always something, and you probably relate. You probably know this feeling. Like, everything I make, there's always like something that you could have done better. Like, you just know, like, at least one thing, usually even more than one thing. But with like the Iron Spider helmet, I feel like that was like I gave it like everything I had. Like, I think it turned out pretty much exactly how I wanted it to. And that's, yeah, like when I say like there's always one thing you could have done better, it's like, what I mean by that is, like, you always have like a vision of how you want something to be, and then when you make it, it always, for me at least, it almost always like falls a little short of that, but it's still cool. But like, it always falls like a little short in one or two aspects. But with the Iron Spider, I feel like I really brought that vision that I had to life, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, there's, like you said, probably every project I've done, like, I've had to sacrifice something to finish it. Like, I couldn't, you know, I couldn't make it do this, so I had to remove that. But I know exactly what you mean. Do you keep all of your props? Do you, like, have you sold any? Do you give them to family, or is it just in storage in your house?
Most of it I have. It's actually like literally like
is it on a display wall?
I don't know if it's full screen, but yeah, it's up there. No, it's actually not. I don't even think I have room for that. I don't know. I'm literally in like in my tiny, like, I do everything in my bedroom. Like, this is my childhood bedroom. Actually, people are surprised when they hear that, but yeah, it's on my bunk bed. So I have a bunk bed just like a couple feet away, and everything is just, most of the things I have are just up there.
Yeah. Do you have any failed projects, like something that you started and something you just never could get it done? As far as recent projects for YouTube.
Yes, but I would like to think that I always find a way somehow, like, to at least get something, because I mean, the one I'm thinking of right now, the Prowler mask. Yeah. That one, I think, at least in recent memory, recent, when I don't post that often, so that at least in recent history, that one is the one I can think of off the top of my head where, like, I failed a lot in, like, a lot of different ways. But it's kind of like a process of trial and error, I guess. I'm sure you relate in some ways, sure. But I don't think, at least off the top of my head, I can't think of a time where I tried something and then just gave up after it didn't work. Usually I find a way somehow to, make something of it.
Yeah. Cool. Shawn, it was an honor to have you on the show. Thank you so much for taking the time. I know we're like at an hour. It felt like it was like 20 minutes, but keep doing what you're doing. There's so many other people that look up to you just like I do, and I hope you keep doing this for many, many years.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you for having me. I'm honored that you put me on as as your first guest. Thank you.
Of course. Hope we talk soon, and I can't wait to see that Assassin's Creed blade.
Absolutely. Oh, actually, I should say that might not come first, but yeah, there's something came up that I might be doing first, but I'm not sure yet. But
okay,
you probably will see it. You probably will see the blade at some point. But
either way, we're all excited and can't wait for your next project. All right, thank you, Shawn.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.